Workgroup and domain model. So what is a workgroup? Individual PC. My laptop is in workgroup. Okay. So like that. So workgroup means individual PCs, limited administration control we can able to do it. Individual PCs having their own administrator. Okay. It is very difficult to manage hundreds of computers from single point. Okay. So that is very difficult. Domain is a centralized administration. Domain is centralized administration. I'm not writing anything, just putting names on it. Centralized administration. Workgroup is decentralized administration. Domain having a domain controller. The domain controller is nothing but a centralized server. Domain having a centralized server called as a domain controller. Domain having a centralized server called as a domain controller. Okay. Next, domains means the domain administrator is the administrator of all domain computers, users, groups, for everyone. For all computers in the domain, administrator is domain administrator only. Okay. For a work group, every computer having their own administrator. So every computer has their own administrator account. In a domain, we have a centralized administrator, so no individual things. We can enforce various type of settings from single domain controller to multiple domain controller to multiple computers in the network. So that is domain. Another one is their Active Directory domain. Active Directory domain. Actually, Active Directory word is introduced in 2000. Okay, in 2000. Earlier, it is not there. That's a different name they are using. Okay, so that's why when you are trying to find what is Active Directory, when you say only Active Directory, it will shows database, set of services, connected user, resources they need to get their done. It is developed by Microsoft for Windows domain networks. The thing is, this is also an answer. Okay, this is, some people will tell this kind of answers for what is Active Directory. Now, Active Directory domain is different, Active Directory is different. Operating system set for services. Okay, so when I am asking what is an Active Directory, please don't tell this answer. I'm giving, but don't tell this answer. This is a purely, this kind of stuff is bakwas answers. Okay, people don't want to tell us full story. They will tell something like that. Okay, so it is not a proper answer, even though it is Wikipedia and all, because I know the Active Directory. You can ask the people who are working since so many years, like Active Directory world system onwards. They will tell Sai sir, you can ask Sai sir also know about. Okay, so that is not complete one. So of course there is some backup of answer. It is only I'm giving this answer. People who like it. Some people really like the backup answers, or to tell some answer. It's okay, kind of answer. Domain or Active Directory domain. So either it is a both. You should tell only one answer. That is a logical boundary of users and computers. A domain, if you take a domain, it is just the English name is domain. It contains so many kind of meanings are there. Okay, that's why I put a name is Active Directory domain. When you are searching about a domain, you will get a lot of answers about a domain. So it is a website domain is also coming. Okay, website related domain. Name is identified string, defines realm of administrative autonomy, authority, control within the internet. See? So this is not what I mean of a domain. So there are relevant things also there. See, domain name is an easy to remember the name that associated with the physical IP address on the network. Unique name that appears after the iterate symbol. So for understanding or something, they are giving so many things. What are the website domains? Okay. These are the domains and as well as the website domains kind of stuff. But this is not a meaning what I am trying to say it is. This is a AD domain, Active Directory domain it is. Next, what is AD? AD means Active Directory. I'm telling again, last time I told, what is an Active Directory? Of course, it is a Microsoft service. It's a Microsoft service. Okay, Microsoft service. So it is belongs to Microsoft proprietary. Active Directory is a Microsoft service. Works in a Windows servers only. Works in a Windows servers only. Thing is, Active Directory, there is no meaning of Active Directory. Active Directory having a Active Directory database contains identity of users, computers, groups, so groups, resources and services in an Active Directory. Okay, or contains or stores. You can use the word called a stores also. Next, Active Directory also also authenticate users when they log into domain. Okay, so this is a Active Directory. So in a domain environment, so when you say it is a domain means a group of computers controlled by, okay, very simple to understand, a group of computers and users controlled or administrated by a central system or a server called a domain controller. Very simple to say what is a domain, guys. So I am telling multiple definitions, multiple lines kind of stuff. Which one is more easy to speak for you? For person, every person, one person, another person, the sentence, the way of the speaking or presentation with an example is different. So compulsory go with the multiple things. Next, does not mean you should tell some bakwas answer there. So don't tell bakwas answers. Okay. So try to more meaningful answers. Okay. Next. So earlier in Windows NT time, okay, Windows NT time, so we don't have any Active Directory kind of stuff. Windows NT servers. Okay, we have a Windows NT servers. So that time we don't have any active directory, no active directory, no active directory. Okay, so the database name is SAM database. SAM database. We use authentication protocol. Use authentication protocol. Or NTLM, new technology LAN manager. NT means new technology. What is a SAM? Secure account manager, I think. Security account manager. Okay, security account manager. Even though in a very old system up to Windows 7, we are using this SAM database. Okay, SAM database. So then when it is go to Windows Server 2000. So when you are saying NT and 2000, compulsory you have to specify server. Windows Server NT or Windows NT Server or Windows 2000 Server or Windows Server 2000, you have to specify. Why? Because of NT desktop workstation is there, 2000 workstation is also there. Means normal desktop version is also there. You can see the differences here. You see, no active directory, no tree, no forest, no site replication, no parent domain child kind of stuff is not there. In 2000, active directory is introduced. So this is the limitation of operating system, limitation of users also there. And it is also using Kerberos authentication. Okay. Now there is an active directory in 2003 also. 2008 onwards, it is not given here. Okay. So now the service name is, here it is, active directory. And we use a authentication protocol. Kerberos. You know what is the meaning of Kerberos is? Okay, it's a dog. Okay, it is three-headed dog. Originally, if you go to this is the dog. So if you check this dog is in a movie. This is the dog. Harry Potter movie. First part. Kerberos protocol. So Active Directory is introduced here. That's it is Microsoft Service since 2000 kind of stuff. Next, Windows 2008 server. You can use anyways. ADDS is introduced. Active Directory. Active Directory. Domain services introduced. Same Active Directory only, but this time they put a name called Active Directory Domain Services. same kerberos authentication. So full hierarchical model, but it is also comes with the other services. ADCS certification service, ADRMS right management system, ADCS or ADCA, ADRMS, ldp lightweight directory access protocol, FS federation services. So these are the other Active Directory based services. Just this morning we seen a EFS, right? So encrypted file system kind of stuff. It is also like that. Certification services, managing certifications for our entire forest. These are all forest level services. Management service, ldap, that's a lightweight. ldap only, but they put like this. ADFS federation. Okay, so it is continuing from 2003 to 2008. ADDS is introduced. So some people will tell another command like a dcpromo.exe is there earlier. From 2008 onwards, it is a little different. As I remember, from 2008 onwards, these services are there. In 2012, maybe it is different. It's not different, so maybe from 2012 to 2008 it is. So, okay, so earlier name is Active Directory, current name is Active Directory Domain Services. Only the difference, guys. Some people will ask, what is Active Directory? What is ADDS? What is the difference? Active Directory in a server 2000 time, it is Active Directory. Now we call it as a Active Directory Domain Services. And we are using kerberos authentication protocol. Okay, like that. Okay, so Active Directory, whatever the DDS or Active Directory, it contains or stores identity of users, computers, groups, and other resources. Also authenticate users when they log into domain. So this is about your Active Directory. In Windows servers, there are a lot of services also there. One of the services Active Directory services, DDS services, DNS services, DHCP services, web server. So that service name we call it as a IIS services, remote desktop service, remote desktop service, remote access. It is nothing but a VPN purpose. Okay. This belongs to VPN. Remote access, network protection. It's both are for VPN for services, for VPN mainly network access for network access. Leave it. Remote access services, WDS, Windows deployment service, WSUS, Windows server update service to update the server, Hyper-V for a virtualization purpose, data virtual machines purpose. Hyper-V is a platform. ADDS, of course, I've written a big list, right? So ADA, RMS, ADCS kind of stuff. Also I've written. There is something 2024 services are there. So in 2008 it's only 16, but later it is increased. File and storage. The file and storage is ISCSI target, server services. ISCSI target is enough. Data deduplication, DFS. Yeah, DFS is also there. That is also we'll see. DFS. File server resource manager. Distributed file system. Distributed file system. Okay, so any other? So how many are there? So I'm not going to. So these are the main services from Windows Server. Okay, so current Windows servers, whatever it is, 16 or 19 kind of stuff. Okay, based on the roles kind of stuff, and also load balancers, failover clustering, other features also there. Load balancer, failover cluster. So these are the different Windows server guys. DNS, DHCP, web server. I want to tell about first WDS. So what is deployment service means? To install a one computer, you want to install a OS in one computer, take time. You want to install a OS in 10 computers, take more time. 100 computers, very difficult, right? So through WDS, using WDS service, you can install operating system in 100 computers at a time through network. Through network, you can install operating system. That is a WDS. Update services. I have 100 computers or 200 computers. They are getting updated from the internet. So a lot of bandwidth is utilized for updating, right? So what I will do, I'll put one server. The server will download the updates and distribute the updates through the our systems. So that is update server to update our computers directly in the LAN network instead of accessing from internet. So Hyper-V, no. So Hyper-V already we know. So that is what is Hyper-V? Virtualization platform, and you can create a virtual machines and manage the virtual machines in it. Remote desktop services for remote access services. Okay, so remote desktop means, so we have a desktops, computers are there. You want to access from your side. So you can access by giving some permissions. That is from here. So routing and remote access. Folder name is RRAS. RRAS means routing and remote access. routing and remote access. Okay, so now we are calling this one as a for a VPN purpose and LAN routing purpose. Bridging two different protocols, you want to make a communication. Okay, simple bridge type, it will work. LAN routing, VPN connection purpose. To do that one, also we need a network protection services or network access service kind of stuff is required. That is web server. You want to make your server as a web server. Also, we have a facilities. DHCP server, like your server is going to give you IP address to the clients. DNS server, so you want to communicate to a particular PC with a name, and you don't know the IP address of that particular PC or a server. So you can communicate with the name, but you cannot communicate, but you don't know, sorry, you have to communicate with IP address, but you don't know the IP address, you know only name. So DNS server will help you to get the IP address because it store IP and name in this database. ADDS, Active Directory services, data duplication services, federation service, sorry, distributed file system, FSRM era file services. Of course, there's a file and storage having so many other services also there. So these are the Windows servers. So common services, Workgroup and Domain, Active Directory domain, guys, always Active domain, a logical boundary of users and computers, a group of computers and users controlled by or controlled or administrated by centralized server. Active Directory. What is the Active Directory means? It's a directory service. Active Directory is a directory. It's a directory. Directory means it contains some data, right? But here we are telling it is a database. What is Active Directory? Directory means folder. What is a directory means? A folder. A folder contains the data. A folder contains data. Same thing, Active Directory, it contains data. Not directly, it is there is a name of the directory. What is the name of the database? Yes, tell me. Database name. Active Directory database name. NTDS.DIT. New Technology Directory Service. New Technology Directory Service. Directory Information Tree. Of course, to authenticate, use protocol, kerberos protocol. Port number is 88. Of course, we can also using ldap protocol also 389. If you have any doubts in the protocol and port numbers, also ask me. I will tell you, no problem. Okay. So you can gather information, but just don't tell sentences blindly. Okay. Just try to understand it, whether it is presentable or not. Understand it. Is it contains a point or not? Okay. So this is about your both Active Directory and Active Directory related services. Active Directory related services and what are the server services, Workgroup domain, Active Directory part. Okay. So something I'm missing. Yes. Only one part I will tell, and we'll go to the other things. So may I told that one, and yeah, no, nothing. Just that's enough. That's enough. So next we'll go to the practical part.